Who builds an army against an unidentified, unrecognized, mysterious threat that doesn't exist? Because we can't answer that question, and no one in the White House or anywhere else will answer this question, or any of the other questions that we've proposed this week, then it's up to us to look for clues. Maybe we start with a company whose CEO is a close financial advisor to the President of the United States. Here's a guy who helped write the health care bill and the cap and trade bill, and who has billions of dollars at stake with every move this government does. This CEO that we should ask, Jeffrey Immelt, has also been appointed by the President of the United States now to the board of directors to the New York Federal Reserve. Wow! I can't imagine that he isn't in on the loop on what could possibly be coming our way. Maybe we should look for what they might be saying will be a threat. To justify the need for a civilian national security force, it would seem to me that the network, and this is from their store, the network that sells this, an Obama action figure, of course, the Obama cup, at the NBC store. I don't know if they know this, but Obama is not an NBC star. Or is he? And here's my favorite, because how true it is from NBC. Yes, we did. Okay, obviously, they're extraordinarily close to the president in 7 different ways. Is it possible to watch their network and their news, NBC News, and see if they have any inside information, leaving any breadcrumbs, any tips on what that threat may be? His network seems to be the leading network in predicting an awful lot of trouble, but they are not alone.
Folks, these people are psycho. That's what they are. Sometimes I think they want Obama to get shot. I do. I really think that there are conservative broadcasters in this country who would love to see Obama taken out.
I'm just old enough, as a kid, to remember the walk-up in 1963 to the horrible events in Dallas. Even as a kid, I happened to be growing up in Washington, D.C. It was palpable to me, all this hate talk about Kennedy. There were a lot of threats. There was a lot of stuff going on that in tone resembles this.
All of this is a diversion by the people who want to, frankly, hurt President Obama. And by the way, I saw some of the clips of people storming these town hall meetings. The last time I saw well-dressed people doing this was when Al Gore asked me to go down to Florida when they were recounting the ballots, and I was confronted with the same type of people. They were there screaming and yelling, "Go back to California, get out of here," and all the rest of it.
A man at a pro-healthcare reform rally just outside wore a semi-automatic assault rifle on his shoulder and a pistol on his hip. The Associated Press reports about a dozen people in all at that event were visible carrying firearms. And the reason we're talking about this, a lot of talk here, Dylan, because people feel like, yes, there are Second Amendment rights for sure, but also there are questions about whether this has racial overtones. Here you have a man of color in the presidency and white people showing up with guns strapped to their waists.
I don't even know how to respond to that. This man is our president. I can disagree with him vehemently. Who in their right mind thinks that it is a good, except lunatics? Who? Is it reasonable to ask the question, just based on these clips, do they think that a good portion of the American people believe that? That the good portion of the American people are the enemy? That they are in such danger from a good portion of the American people that we need a civilian national security force as well funded and as well trained as the military? You know, the people who are on the other side of the argument, the part that you fail to understand is they believe in the Constitution. Nowhere in the Constitution is that kind of insanity embraced. Is that, Mr. President, you must answer this question. Is that who you think the enemy is?